Nigerians back Atiku's claim about hardship in Nigeria. Oh, everybody knows that Nigeria is not in the best of state right now. And both Atiku and Obi have all been talking and speaking, doing their normal opposition, actions or playing their oppositions. So let me see exactly what Atiku said and Nigerians supported and backed. Okay, nobody that will not back anything that is said against APC will be backed, because APC is a epitome of suffering and hardship. So on Monday, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar came down hard on the All Progressive Congress APC-led government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, insisting that the prevailing economic hardship in the country was a direct outcome of Tinubu's incoherent plan, a development he equally attributed to the president's hasty assumption of power without a clear-cut policy direction. So Atiku was responding to the presidency's dismissal of his earlier submission on Sunday regarding what he would have done differently if he had won the 2023 presidential election to keep the economy in a good standing. So he had insisted that the federal government cannot tax its way out of the present economic crisis in the country. Exactly. Taxing Nigeria is not the solution to the economic hardship in Nigeria. First of all, you are even taxing, it's just like you are collecting the blood of a dying horse. You are going to end up killing the horse finally. That is the truth. Because of the harsh and bad economic policies, businesses in Nigeria, both small and medium-scale businesses, are all dead. Okay, and even the high-scale businesses that are all trying to survive, they are wobbling. And you are taxing. You remain to tax dead body in Nigeria. The next thing, the banks are now taxing everybody's money, no matter how small it is, whether Okada or no matter what you do. So at the end of the day, some people are going to stop putting money in the bank. That is it. Because when you keep money in the bank, it is the bank will continue to deduct. So Atiku is saying here that Tinubu's government cannot tax its way out of the bad economic condition they have put the country, and I agree. I agree completely. So in a statement, what we should have done differently, Atiku had criticized the way the federal government managed the fuel subsidy removal, as well as the fiscal and monetary policies of President Tinubu's administration, and outlined a set of policies he would have pursued if he were the president. However, reacting through the special advisor to the president on information and strategy by Ananoga, I know that's the mouthpiece of Tinubu, the presidency dismissed Atiku's alternative, saying it was lacking in details. Can you imagine? So if it gives you details, so you go and take it and implement it and take glory of it. Even when you implement it, you will not even implement it well. So Ananoga noted that had the former vice president won the 2020 presidential election, he would have plunged the economy into a worse economic situation or overseen a regime of cronyism. Can you imagine? So Atiku was quoted to have said, like many fellow Nigerians, I firmly believe that we find ourselves in this current economic turmoil due to the current administration's hasty ascent to power, devoid of a coherent plan. So in stark contrast, my team not only devised a comprehensive recovery plan, but also welcomed significant input from Nigerians, ensuring that our approach was inclusive and well considered. So is it not fascinating here how the so-called tested Tinubu's administration only policy response seems to be a national prayer led by the First Lady and the National Security Advisor just a mere 24 hours after I proposed my alternative solutions? What a bold strategy. Exactly. But up to now, Nigerians are still telling the First Lady and Nuhu Ribadu to go and find something else to do. America did not become great by gathering to pray. You cannot remove the place of prayer, but prayer is not organized by the government institutions. Government is to make policies, create strategies and guidelines and conditions that will help businesses to grow and grow the economy. That is what government do. Let the non-governmental organizations and the religious communities organize the prayers, not you. Don't leave what you're supposed to do to go and pray. That is how bad it is. You leave your responsibility to make the right policies and drive the economy in a positive direction to pray so that God will come and do the policies for you, Abi. What a spiritual joke. So he mocked the Tinubu'S administration for his failure to address the hardship in the land, saying, while prayer is a noble path to follow, the scriptures prescribe diligent labor and hard work. Exactly. Both the Islamic and the Christian holy book talks about hard work and labor. So he maintained that many countries have emerged as strong economies by encouraging economic growth through low taxes, and wondered why Tinubu's government was fixated on inflicting further hardship upon an already struggling populace. We cannot hope to tax our way out of the economic quagmire, wrought by these misguided experimental policies of a novice administration. That is correct. That is very, very correct. So numerous nations such as the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Monaco, among many others, have emerged as economic powerhouses by fostering growth through lower taxation. So one can only speculate that Tinubu's government is anchored to a mere tea plan, which can only lead to a tea pain. Wow, tea plan to tea pain. Furthermore, let me emphasize that the citizens who cast their votes in 2023 presidential election are well aware that I did not lose. Rather, we found ourselves in this predicament because the election was criminally stolen from the Nigerian people. So it is therefore uncharitable for Tinubu's team to claim that my proposals remain untested. What remains unproven is the erratic trial and error nature of the policies so far implemented by this administration, which elucidates our present predicament, he submitted. So the former vice president went ahead to buttress his argument with what he had done in the past while in government. He said, let us not forget that under our economic stewardship between 1999 and 2003, Nigeria soared to the pinnacle of Africa's economies, while their administration has relegated us to a disheartening fourth position. Can you imagine? So the average GDP rate under the Obasanjo administration that I served in was 6.59% and peaked at 15% in 2002. 7.9% under the late Yar'Adua administration and 4.8% under Jonathan, compared to dismal 2.8% of the so-called tested Tinubu era. So painting a picture of what Nigeria has become in recent time, a Katsina State-based educationist, Malam Sabiu Fago, said the cloud is gathering and becoming darker by the day. Danger lurks around as hunger and starvation bite harder. Nigerians are running out of patience with the government, and if urgent steps are not taken to arrest the ugly trend, something disastrous might happen. So the people are saying that they can no longer bear the pains of the government's economic policies, which have made life unbearable and hellish for them. They said most households can no longer afford to buy food in the market as prices keep rising at an astronomical rate and on a daily basis, a situation they claimed has rendered them less than humans, and that is true. So prices of staple food like maize, rice, millet, guinea corn, gari, and other food items like beans have all hit the rooftop, such that hunger and starvation have become the order of the day. So to make matters worse, the people are also under heavy attacks by various armed groups ranging from Boko Haram, Islamic sect to Fulani herdsmen, militia, bandits, and kidnappers without any hope in sight. Kidnapping for ransom has become a big business in Nigeria. Oh boy. So these are all the things that have been said about this government. It's quite an unfortunate situation. And somebody say here, you were vice president for 8 years and tell Nigerians what you achieved for me, nothing. Can you imagine? These are the same people. The truth is that Atiku could have been better than this guy. Just that Atiku is not Atiku's time, because a Fulani man had ruled for 8 years, so Atiku shouldn't expect to be entered there again for another 8 years. That is it. But I tell you, I think Atiku's government would have been better than this. Atiku is a mistake Nigerians avoided. It would have been hell. What do you think? And somebody say T-Pain. Atiku is far better than Emilokon, who destroyed the economy and pushed everybody into poverty. And that is true. Atiku, you keep on making noise, and Tinubu continue with progress of Nigerian state. Which progress is Tinubu making? Just like this other person has said, Atiku would have been far, far, far better than this Tinubu's government. But it's just that it's not the time for the North, like this is time for the South. And unfortunately, South did not have a better person, or the person there, in one way or the other, bought his way through. And all the institutions that should have maintained sanity and dignity sold out completely. Okay? So, and that is why we are suffering. That is it. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment as Atiku and the Tinubu's government continue to trade west.